All right, welcome to the deep dive. So today we're diving into a pretty fascinating story.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Dominic Martelle and his company, MicroSky Managed Services.
Okay.
We've got a whole bunch of info here, background services they offer, what clients and partners are saying. And the mission, I think, is to understand how he built this IT solutions company, like from the ground up,
From scratch.
Yeah, exactly. And what makes them stand out? Because it's a pretty crowded space, right?
For sure. IT solutions, it's a booming industry. Lots of competition.
Absolutely. And get this, the story starts with a 3-year-old, like, that's messing around with computers. And now it's a global IT company.
Wow, that's quite a trajectory.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of unpack those key decisions, philosophies that got them to this point, that kind of crazy growth. Pretty impressive.
It is. I mean, when you look at successful businesses, you often find these early kind of seeds of passion or maybe a few key strategic decisions that kind of set the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're going to explore today, like really drill down into what makes this story and MicroSky tick.
Let's get into it.
All right, so one of the first things that really stood out to me was this early connection Dominic had with computers. Like, it wasn't just a kid playing games.
Right.
Right.
It seems like more than just a passing interest.
Way more. I mean, the information we have says he was actually fixing computers at his grade school, St. Charles.
Seriously, like how old are we talking here?
They're talking like elementary school. I mean, that kind of early aptitude.
Yeah.
It really hints at like a natural talent, a real passion.
Almost like he was born to do this. Makes you wonder what he could grasp even back then.
It's crazy, right? So picture this: other kids are out playing, and he's in the computer lab, probably like knee-high to a monitor, troubleshooting.
I can't even imagine. I was just trying to figure out the Nintendo at that age.
Totally. And then there's this turning point. He was playing football at Pace University, good enough to, potentially have a career. But he decided to walk away from that and just focus on technology.
Wow. To step away from a potential athletic career, that's a big decision.
Huge decision. I mean, especially to pursue something that had been such a consistent interest since he was so young. Like, he really had a vision.
It speaks volumes about his conviction, maybe even some foresight. He saw where his true potential lay.
Yeah, totally. And this wasn't some kind of like whim. It was a deliberate choice to really go all in on tech.
So then how did he actually make that transition into the professional world?
Well, he became a desktop engineer back at Pace, actually. So he was getting that hands-on experience, like the day-to-day stuff of IT.
Right, so he's learning the practical side of things, not just theory anymore.
Exactly. Troubleshooting, network management, understanding how IT infrastructure actually works in the real world.
That's so crucial. I mean, it's one thing to be interested in tech, but it's another to actually understand how it works in a complex environment.
For sure. And that experience seems to have really paid off because the next stop was Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now he's in a really high-stakes environment.
Big time. Spent 5 years there, worked his way up to senior server analyst. That's a big jump in terms of responsibility.
Definitely. I mean, working at a place like that with such a critical mission, it must have given him a whole other level of experience. What kind of specific skills do you think he would have picked up there?
Well, think about it. Network architecture, designing and maintaining these massive secure networks, right? Cybersecurity with all that sensitive patient data, and then data recovery, making sure everything's backed up, that operations can continue if there's a problem.
Oh, I bet that was intense. So much pressure, I imagine.
Absolutely. And all that, like dealing with enterprise level IT solutions, the scale, the complexity, that's 5 years of really valuable experience.
No doubt. I mean, you can really see how these early experiences set the stage for him to start his own thing, right?
Totally. So in 2013, he launches Martell Computer Systems. But that's not the end of the story.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. In 2015, they rebrand as MicroSky Managed Services.
Interesting. What do you think was behind that shift?
It feels like the name MicroSky itself suggests something bigger, broader, like maybe hinting at cloud services and this more holistic approach to IT.
I see. So it's not just fixing computers anymore. It's about becoming a full-fledged managed IT provider.
Exactly. And their vision was pretty clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
Top-tier custom IT solutions,
Yeah.
round-the-clock support. They wanted to achieve a 99% client retention rate.
Wow, 99%. That's ambitious.
Extremely. And essentially become that one-stop shop for all their clients' technology needs. So bold goals for a company that was just starting out.
It's a smart approach, though. I mean, businesses don't want to deal with a bunch of different vendors.
Right. They want
Well,
simplicity, and that's what MicroSky was offering.
and it seems like it resonated because they've grown, what, from a local startup to a global IT solutions provider.
That's right. They're serving hundreds of organizations worldwide now. That kind of growth in such a short time, it's pretty remarkable.
Definitely impressive. So what's their secret sauce? Like, what do they actually offer that's making them stand out?
So their service portfolio is actually really comprehensive. It's like they thought of everything a business might need, to thrive in this digital world.
Makes sense. They want to be that one-stop shop, so they need to cover all the bases.
Exactly. So they've got managed IT services. This is like the core of what they do. And within that, they have remote monitoring and management.
Okay. And what does that entail?
So it's all about being proactive, identifying and fixing issues before they even become problems for the client. Like, think of it as preventative maintenance for your entire IT infrastructure.
Ah, I see. So they're not just waiting for things to break.
Nope. They're constantly monitoring, making sure everything's running smoothly. And of course, they've got 24/7 tech support.
Which is essential these days, right? Businesses can't afford downtime.
Absolutely. And they handle the physical side of things too, network cabling and infrastructure. So they can actually set up your whole network, make sure it's robust, scalable, all of that.
Smart. They've got it all covered, from the physical stuff in your office to the software and systems that keep everything running.
Right. And then, of course, there's the big one, cybersecurity.
Right. You can't talk about IT these days without talking about cybersecurity.
It's huge. So they offer endpoint detection and response. This is about proactively identifying and neutralizing threats right at the device level.
So, like, stopping attacks before they can even spread.
Exactly. And they also do cybersecurity assessments. This is like a health check for a company's digital defenses.
To identify any weaknesses.
Exactly. So they can recommend ways to strengthen their security posture overall.
Makes sense. And I noticed they specifically mentioned Graphis email security.
Oh yeah, they're big on that.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful tool for protecting against email-based threats.
Right.
Phishing, malware, ransomware, all that nasty stuff.
Email is still such a common attack vector, so it's smart to have a dedicated solution for that.
Absolutely. And then there's the disaster recovery planning, the what-if scenario.
Yeah, the insurance policy.
Exactly. So they help businesses figure out how to recover quickly from any data loss or cyber incident, make sure they can get back up and running as quickly as possible.
That's critical. Business continuity is everything.
Right. So they're not just backing up data, they're creating a whole plan to minimize downtime and get things back to normal.
That takes a lot of expertise. So what about the cloud? It seems like every business is moving to the cloud in some way, shape, or form.
It's definitely the trend. So they have a whole suite of cloud hosting and backup solutions, secure cloud backup, disaster recovery solutions in the cloud, web hosting, email hosting.
So essentially, they can move a company's entire IT infrastructure to the cloud.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And they handle everything, from the security of the data to the daily backups, the ability to restore data instantly if something goes wrong.
Peace of mind. That's what they're selling.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop there. They even do website development and app solutions.
Website development, that seems like a bit of a departure from, network management and cybersecurity.
It might seem that way, but it actually makes sense in the context of their whole one-stop shop philosophy.
Okay, I see. So they're covering all aspects of a business's online presence, not just their internal systems.
Exactly. So they do website hosting and design, e-commerce website development, custom app development, even search engine optimization, SEO.
SEO. So they're helping businesses get found online. That's smart. It's all connected.
Totally. And then there's this really specialized service they offer, data recovery services.
Okay, data recovery. So like if your hard drive crashes.
Yeah, or your phone, your flash drive, they can often retrieve that lost data. And they're considered one of the best in New York City for this.
Wow, that's a specialized skill set. You really need to know what you're doing.
Absolutely. It can be a lifesaver for businesses that have like a catastrophic data loss. So you see, it's a pretty comprehensive offering, but what really ties it all together is their underlying philosophy. And this is what really stood out to me, this idea of a relationship-first approach.
Relationship first. In the IT world, I mean, it's a very technical field. How does that actually play out?
Well, it's about recognizing that technology is really just a tool to solve human problems, right? It's about understanding the people behind the technology, their needs, their goals, their challenges.
So it's more than just transactions and service level agreements.
Way more. It's about building trust, being proactive, communicating clearly, becoming a true partner, not just a vendor.
And that 99% client retention rate we talked about, that really speaks to the success of that approach, doesn't it?
It's a pretty compelling testament, right? I
Right.
mean, clients are clearly sticking around because they're happy, they feel valued, they trust MicroPsyche.
And that kind of loyalty, it's priceless in a competitive market.
Absolutely. And another key part of their approach is customizing solutions. They recognize that every business is different, right? They have different needs, different goals. So a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't cut it.
It makes sense. You can't just apply the same solution to every problem.
Right. They take the time to understand each client's specific situation and then tailor their solutions accordingly.
That level of personalization, it really shows they're invested in their client's success.
And of course, they're constantly staying ahead of the curve. In the tech world, you can't afford to stand still.
Right. Technology is always evolving. New threats emerge. New solutions are developed. It's a constant race to keep up.
Exactly. So they're continuously learning, investing in new expertise, making sure they're offering the latest and greatest to their clients.
And how about pricing? Is that a part of their philosophy too?
Transparency is huge for them. No hidden fees, no surprises. They want their clients to know exactly what they're paying for.
It's a simple but effective way to build trust. No one likes getting hit with unexpected charges.
Exactly. So you can really see how Dominic has built MicroSky on a foundation of more than just technical expertise. It's that underlying philosophy that really sets them apart.
For sure. It's about understanding people as much as it's about understanding technology.
Right. Now, to give you a sense of who they work with, they've got some pretty impressive clients. Memorial Sloan Kettering, the New York Fire Alarm Association, the Richmond County Savings Foundation, even local businesses like Bravo Pizza.
So healthcare, financial services, local businesses, that's quite a diverse range.
It is. And it just shows that they can really cater to different needs, different scales of operation.
It's a testament to their flexibility and their broad expertise.
And on top of that, they've got partnerships with some major players in the tech industry. Dell, Google Cloud, Microsoft, AWS, Datto, Synology.
Those are some serious names. Those
Yeah.
partnerships are important, right?
Yeah, it's extremely. It shows that they're recognized as experts in these technologies. They've met certain standards, achieved certain certifications,
Right. So it adds a lot of credibility.
and it allows them to offer their clients access to the latest and greatest solutions. So where do they go from here? What does the future hold for MicroSky?
Well, based on what we've seen, Dominic has some pretty ambitious plans.
He does. Big focus on expanding into AI-driven cybersecurity solutions.
AI and cybersecurity makes sense. The threats are getting more and more sophisticated.
Absolutely. They're also looking to grow their presence in North America and Europe.
So some serious global expansion on the horizon.
Yep. And they're developing these advanced cloud-hosted business automation platforms.
So they're really riding the wave of cloud adoption.
For sure. And the overall message is like continuous innovation. They're not going to stand still. They want to stay ahead of the curve.
It's an exciting time to be in the IT industry. So much is changing so quickly.
Absolutely. So we've really unpacked a lot here today. Dominic Martelle's journey, the rise of MicroSky managed services. It's pretty inspiring to see how a childhood passion can blossom into this like global force.
It really highlights the power of, early interests and how those can shape a career, a whole business.
Totally. But it's not just about passion, right? It's about making smart decisions, building a strong foundation of expertise, and having a really solid philosophy that guides your actions.
Exactly. It's a recipe for success, for sure.
So for you, the learner, listening in, think about this for a second. What early passions do you have? You know, those things that really lit you up when you were younger. What if those could be the seeds for something bigger, something that could have a real impact?
I like that. It's about recognizing the potential in those early interests, even if they seem small or insignificant now.
Right. You never know where they might lead. And that's something worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure. Always fascinating to explore these stories.
Absolutely. Until next time.